review this then. It's a Bosch Classixx WAE24166GB, which was released around 2011 to replace the WAE24165, which had only been out for like a year or so anyway. This was the very first of the Classixx to come with the Speed Perfect and Eco Perfect buttons, replacing the Wash Plus system instead. Also, it's the first one to come with super quick 15-minute wash, and it was also the last one before it got changed to the name Series 4, which was the WAE24167. Right at the bottom, we've got our flap for our filter, and we've also got a drain hose. Door handle here, pull towards you, and we are presented with our 6 kilogram drum. I am going to show the drum now because there is a difference between each Classixx. So it's solid at the back, but it's the same door seal as well. So we have a brush motor. It is slightly loud under normal washing, but once it starts to spin, it's no louder than the other generations. This is just down to the actual motor, which is slightly different on this. But bearing in mind, you can still buy a WAE24166 with the same normal Bosch motor. But for this one, it's like a Nidec example. It's weird. Essentially, it's got external brush holders, which you'll like find on any other normal motor, like a Welly motor, for example. But you take the holders off, undo them, and then it uses the same brushes as a normal Bosch, but you put them inside. It's weird, which I found out because, of course, when I went to go check the brushes, they were quite well worn, but it was still running fine. It was weird. So anyway, it's got new brushes, this machine has. Keep it going for another, I would say, another 12 years, but the spiders do tend to go around 18 to 20 years old, so hey-ho. Right, so the Classixx comes with a basic set of programs, but does handily come with the super quick 15-minute wash and a mixed load, which meant that you did gain better programs overall than the Max. So we've got Collins 30 and 40, which are around 2 hours 20. Obviously Collins 40 with pre-wash adds on half an hour, so it's 2 hours 52. Cotton 60 is 2 hours 31, and Cotton 90 is 2 hours 36 for a full 6 kilogram load to be washed. That's under the normal washing parameters. Essentially, from the old model, where you'd have to select Wash Plus, it's the opposite. You now have to do the opposite. So if you want a quicker wash, an express wash, you now have to press Speed Perfect. Speed Perfect, you're supposed to limit the load to 4 kilograms. However, Bosch are very clever, and they will extend the wash if you put a full load of 6 kilograms in. So the timer is going to give you off 4 kilos, and what it does, it will drop the rinse count from 3 to 2. It will use more water in the rinsers to compensate the lack of the additional rinse, and we'll still do a full length spin, if anything just slightly shortened on the top end. So we've got Cotton's 90 with Speed Perfect will be around 1 hour 40, Cotton's 60 will be 1 hour 5, 40 with pre-wash is 1 hour 30, 1430 is going to be 1 hour. Right. You've then got Eco Perfect, which has 2 functions. If at 30 degrees, it will do an extended wash, extending the wash from around 2 hours 20 to around 2 hours 50. If you select 40 though, or 60, it will lower the temperature and extend the wash and just do 2 rinses instead of 3. This is all in accordance to achieve its A energy rating. So subsequently, they're around 3 hours long instead. If you select 90, It will reduce the temperature from 90, well 80, to around 70, a couple of degrees. So it's still going to give you an antibacterial effect, just at a lower temperature, while slightly extending the wash by about 10 minutes or so. So it goes from 2 hours 35 to around 2 hours 45 to 2 hours 50. So it's not really a great deal longer. Right, then we've got reduced ironing, which if you notice, the spin speed has now dropped from 1200, which is the maximum spin speed, to 800. What reduced creasing does, of course, is just the final spin phase to have multiple intervals where it speeds up and then slows down with multiple anti-crease periods to decrease the clothes, and this will reduce how much creasing is put into the laundry. Aqua Plus will add on an extra rinse. Spin speed is variable on this machine. Obviously you've got 1200, 1000, 800, 600 and rinse hold. Obviously in rinse hold mode though, you can then go on to final spin by just tapping it again. Then we've got mix load, which is made for washing a half load of mixed colours and fabrics. So all your darks, all your light colours, synthetics and cottons can all be put onto one cycle. It does say it's at 1200 RPM, but it's actually a shorter version of the cotton cycle. So yeah, it also runs for 1 hour and washes at 40 degrees. You can select Speed Perfect and that'll drop it down to around 45 minutes. If you select Eco Perfect though, it will add on around 10 minutes to the wash cycle for better improved wash results, while still washing at 40 degrees. Also, you've got Reduce Ironing and Aqua Plus options for this as well. Then we got Super Quick 15. This is a 15-minute wash made for washing 2 kilograms of lightly soiled laundry at 30 degrees. Obviously there's no Speed Perfect or Eco Perfect or Reduce Ironing or Aqua Plus. It does say it spins at 800, but you can flick it round and it will spin at 1200, although it will spin at 1200 very briefly. Bit of a recommendation though is try and avoid using this program and just use obviously your mix load, because the problem with Super Quick 15 is that it will only try and balance the load twice on the final spin. If you can't, it will just abort the final spin altogether. Yeah, and that's the problem. You don't get that effect with any of the other cycles since it will try and balance the load 15 times, except wool. I'll get on to that in a minute. Then we've got rinse/spin. So when you select rinse and spin, it will automatically select Aqua Plus. Now, if the Aqua Plus is lit, it means it'll do one final rinse with final fabric softener, followed by a full-length cotton spin. But if you want spin only, you can just turn Aqua Plus off, and it will do the spin only cycle, the cotton's length spin only cycle, for 13 minutes. Of course, there's no other options. Wow, it really doesn't like Eco Perfect for some reason. Except Reduce Ironing. In which case, if you select that, it will do a Reduce Ironing version of the spin only. Good for respinning, I think, like shirts, for example, or easy cares. And we've got Drain Only, which of course just drains for 2 minutes. So of course there's no options. The touch buttons are really a little bit delayed. That's always been a thing with Bosch's as well. Then we've got the wool cycle, which allows you to wash 2 kilograms of machine washable woolens, either at 30 or cold, taking around 40 minutes to complete the cycle. The only problem is with the wool cycle is that it will again only try and balance the load twice. If it can't balance the load, it will just abort the final spin. There's also no options either. Then we've got Delicate/Silk at 30 degrees. Now, it takes 41 minutes according to the manual. If you select Speed Perfect, it will speed it up by 5 minutes to 36-minute wash. Or if you select Eco Perfect, it will add on 5 minutes for a 46-minute wash. You can also select Reduce Ironing, which I think actually spins at 400, but obviously they just can't set it because there's no 400 RPM setting. Yeah. And we can have Aqua Plus as well, if we wish. Then we've got Easy Cares at 60, 40 and 30. Not sure how long 60 takes. I think it's probably around an hour 50. But 40 takes around an hour 35 and 30 takes around an hour 30. If you select Speed Perfect though, 60 will take around an hour 15, while 40 and 30 will take just under an hour to complete. If you select the Eco Perfect option, it will add on around 15 minutes to the cycle, up in the time from 1 hour 30, 1 hour 35 to around an hour 45 to an hour 50. Again, we can select Reduce Ironing, and we can have Aqua Plus options as well. It's made for washing half a load of man-made fibres. Oh, and interestingly, it's preset to 800, but you can actually go all the way up to 1200. Though, again, it will kind of just do a shorter version of the cotton's spin at that point. Yeah, it will kind of get to 1200 after spinning at 800 for a long time, so yeah. Another thing to note is this program flow. We've got the wash, rinse, spin, and then end icon lights, and it'll go through it like that as well, going from wash to rinse to spin. Of course, if you select 40 with pre-wash, it will stay on the wash light for both the pre-wash and the whole of the main wash. Also, you can tell when the cycle is ready to be selected because the start light will also be flashing. Alright, so we've got our detergent drawer, split into 3 compartments of course. This side is for your pre-wash. If you're selecting the 40 plus pre-wash program, put detergent in both this compartment and this compartment. For every other normal wash cycle, you put all your powder, for example, into this big compartment. Then we've got this one with the flour, and that is for your optional fabric softener. Of course, you can't go beyond the max fill line here, as it will prematurely drain in, but it's so forgiving that it doesn't matter what you're using. For example, it's always going to take all your fabric softener. Same with the detergent compartments, they're huge on Bosch's, and always have been. They well done. Right, so let's give this out of 10 then. Well, there was something a bit odd. It says an hour and 1 minute in the manual, except the actual overall time is about an hour 20. Took a lot longer than I was expecting. But that being said, all the other cycles that are labelled in the book are more on point. It was a bit disappointing that this is an hour 20 for the mixed cycle. So I'm going to give this out of 10 then. Well, it's going to get 8 out of 10. I know what you're thinking, and you're thinking, hang on, isn't that less than you would offer to another Classixx? And indeed, I've not reviewed them yet, but yes, and it's because there's a couple of problems with the WAE24166 as a whole. We'll start off with the fact that it yellows. This, you can sometimes just be the fascia, sometimes just the draw, sometimes it's both, but it's never the door. And it's only ever these two that yellow. And yellow quite quickly as well. Whereas like older Classixx can still be white. So yeah. The other thing is, of course, like I just said, the mix does say an hour in the book, and it's an hour 20. And the other problem is the motor. It goes through brushes quite a lot quicker than the normal Classixx motor. So in effect, it's a bit more unreliable than the older Classixx machines. And that's why it's going to lower rating. But other than that, in terms of washing, rinsing and spinning, it's still a Bosch. So it's still good. Right, I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to give us a like if you haven't done already. Don't forget to comment down below if you agree with me. Or if you don't agree with me. I'd love to hear what you have to say down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. And I'll see you in another review or wash race or anything else like that on this channel. So, bye for now.